So good afternoon. It's really nice to be in such an incredible environment, and thank you for EUISS for organizing this. Listening to you, I was like, okay, he has my speech. But yeah, I'm just delivering the speech, and then we can go into the discussion really deeply. But as I stand here today, the ground is moving beneath our feet. I think we all feel it. We all feel it every day by opening our phones and looking what has happened. And the tremors are getting stronger. But there are no natural origins to this disaster. We are experiencing deliberate attempts to change the international order. A new global order is in the making. It will not be shaped without Europe, but it will be shaped by what Europe is willing to do. Whether we are willing to recognize the need for Europe to play a geopolitical role, and whether we are willing to build our geopolitical power to do this. For those who still doubt whether Europe should play a role on world stage, we have always done so when the need arose. And the same is true today. Russia has brought war back to Europe. Putin wants to neutralize Ukraine and re-establish its pre-1991 Soviet sphere of influence. These plans are not secret. They were written for the world to see across the chest of the Russian foreign minister when he landed in the United States. Russia's aggression has demanded a collective, common European response. However, the urgency and practical need for Europe's geopolitical role is greater today for two reasons. First, Russia is not acting alone. China provides Russia with up to 80% of dual-use imports. And as we know, during the war, there are no dual-use goods. They're all used for military purposes. This allows the killing to continue in Ukraine. China and Russia also speak of leading changes together not seen in 100 years and of revisions of global security order. And two, there are growing alliances of countries that see the world fundamentally different way to Europe. When President Xi talks about building a new type of international relations at the meeting of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization this week, leaders from over 20 countries were there. Only a handful of those that attended can be considered democratic. Most score poorly on human rights indexes, and none are considered to be entirely free under Freedom House Index. And this is what we are up against. Whether we like it or not, Europe is engaged in a battle of freedom and democracy. To participate as an equal player, Europe must build its geopolitical power. As we know, geopolitical power may be based on either military might or economic force. There is no doubt that Europe has economic power. We are one of the world's largest economies and leading global trading bloc. We have the second most used currency and the largest reserve currency in the world. Our military might, on the other hand, has never been strong enough. We have not spent enough on military hardware. What we have spent has not been inefficient. And we have not developed the right capabilities. But we are changing. Europe has embarked on the biggest military undertaking in recent history. 2 trillion euros in additional defense spending between now and 2031. We are developing our military capabilities. Europe's annual capacity to produce ammunition is 6 times of what it was just 2 years ago. Now we must do the same to our key capability gaps, such as air defense and precision-guided missiles. And we are slowly removing the barriers of internal market. And this is a work in progress. It takes time, but it's happening, and that is a start. We are also building our military might in a European way, through partnerships with others. We have security and defence partnerships with growing numbers of countries all across the globe. UK, Canada, Norway, Moldova, Albania, North Macedonia, Japan and Republic of Korea. We are exploring these with others too. These are not just technical agreements, but an example of European Union's fundamental commitment to alliances to protect both sides. With regards to our economic power, there are two ways to use it as a geopolitical tool. The positive, through trade, or negative, through sanctions. The EU and the United States still drive much of the world's economy. That is why we made the trade deal we did. No one would argue it's perfect, but it gives stability for our citizens and companies. At the same time, we are the largest trading partner for 72 other countries across the world and counting. Today, we adopted proposals for 2 new trade agreements of Mercosur and Mexico. The EU is open for business. And this is extremely important. Countries around the world are looking to diversify their trade relationship. But it's not only trade that we are building partnerships on. They will always find the European Union as credible and reliable partner as we have always been. We are now building our strategic autonomy through alliances on critical raw materials too. Materials for batteries, for aviation, or for defence. And Europe always comes with a positive offer. We do not want to deplete the resources. We care for the prosperity and well-being of the people and the environment. When Europe strengthens its power, it's never at the expense of others. But just building our geopolitical power is not enough. We are only taken seriously when we are willing to use that power. And what it requires is our unity to use that power. There are good examples of where we already are doing this. Ukraine is one. Yes, it is getting harder to have a united position, even on blatant Russian aggression. Funding under the European Peace Facility could be used to buy weapons for Ukraine, from the United States as well, but it is being blocked. However, since the first day of full-scale Russian invasion, we have always moved together, not least through 18 packages of sanctions and counting. An example where we are not using our geopolitical power because we are not united is Gaza. The humanitarian catastrophe in Gaza is a fundamental test for Europe's resolve to fight internationally our values. And we are struggling because 27 member states have different positions due to their history. Europe has been the most active actor on this in the world. Day in and day out, I've pushed for aid to reach those in desperate need and apply a political leverage where we have. I opened diplomatic channels with Israel because we cannot get anywhere if we don't talk. The European Union is the largest humanitarian donor and the constant supporter of Palestinian Authority and the two-state solution. We have helped more than any other international actor. But it's not enough to change the situation on the ground, and there is the frustration. We have not been able to use our geopolitical power to change the course in Gaza because we do not have unity. Europe can only use its full force as a geopolitical power when we act together. Being a geopolitical actor also means rescinding Europe's offer when our interests are not respected. If we have doubts about the country's respect to our interests, we should be clear about the consequences. We need to develop the tools we can use, carrots as well as sticks. Simply put, if a country considers support for a war in Europe, we deprive them of funding. If they act together with us on a global sphere, we have initiatives that they can benefit from. For every relationship Europe has, we must be prepared to show both sides of the equation, the positive as well as the negative. Dear friends, a new global order is in the making, but how we respond to this is entirely up to us. We have what it takes. That has never been in doubt, if we are united. Now we must grow our geopolitical power and work on how we can be united or change the rules so that we can adopt decisions. Otherwise, we are just not taken seriously. Thank you.